Okay, there is nothing quite like that sweet, nostalgic crunch of Rice Krispie Treats, and I promise you, this recipe does not disappoint. It has that signature chewy texture, satisfying crunch, and best of all, they are so easy to make with no baking required. So to start off, we're going to prepare our pan. So for this recipe, you're going to need a 9 by 13 inch sheet pan, and you want to lightly grease it. I'm just using some cooking spray to grease mine, and then you want to line the pan long ways with parchment paper, with some of that parchment paper hanging over the edges. Now just pop your tray aside for now, and next place a large pot over a medium to low heat, and you want to add in 170 grams or 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, and you want to melt that down completely until it starts to gently sizzle. Now once it starts to gently sizzle, we're going to slightly brown the butter, not completely, just slightly, so you do want to keep a close eye on it, and you do want to stir it frequently. Now after some time, you should notice a layer of froth developing on the top of the butter. Now once the butter starts to change color and has a slightly nutty smell, and you can also start seeing little kind of sediments forming on the bottom of the pan, then you want to immediately turn the heat down to low. Now once the butter is at a lower temperature and no longer sizzling, you want to add in 397 grams or 8 cups of mini marshmallows. You can use large marshmallows if you don't have any mini ones on hand, and then you want to stir that in until the marshmallows are almost fully melted. Remember to keep this all on a low heat, because if the marshmallows are overheated, you're going to end up with kind of very firm Rice Krispie treats that are just a bit hard to eat. Now once the marshmallows are almost melted, you want to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then just stir that in until it's well combined. Now once that's mixed well, you want to add in 200 grams or 7.5 cups of any type of rice cereal. Rice Krispies are the most popular type used. Here in New Zealand, we call them rice bubbles, and then you just want to mix that in until it's completely coated in the marshmallows. Now once that's done, you want to immediately take the pot off the heat and add in the remaining 53 grams or 1 cup of mini marshmallows. This is just going to add wonderful little marshmallowy bits throughout the Rice Krispies, and then you just want to fold them in until the marshmallows are dispersed throughout the Rice Krispies. You want to avoid over mixing it though, so just mix until it looks somewhat evenly mixed and the marshmallows start to slightly melt. Now that is our mixture all done, and now all that's left to do is to transfer this to our prepared sheet pan from earlier, and then using a little bit of parchment paper, cling wrap, or slightly wet hands will work too. You want to spread out the Rice Krispie mixture so that it's evenly spread, and you want to push it down gently to set it in place. Now don't push it down too firmly, because the firmer you push them in, the harder it is to eat them once they're ready. Okay, now that is looking good, and now you just want to let this completely cool and set for about an hour. And then once it's ready, you just want to use the parchment paper that's hanging over the edges to lift the Rice Krispie treats out of the pan, and then use a sharp knife to cut the Rice Krispies out. I like to cut mine into squares, but rectangles or any other shape really will work. And then that is my Rice Krispie treats all done and ready to eat. These Rice Krispie treats are chewy, crunchy, marshmallowy goodness that are just so ridiculously Moorish. They're super flavorful, not too sweet, and those extra marshmallows folded in at the end just add these wonderful pockets of gooiness. It is so good. These are just so good. They're crunchy, soft, chewy, not too sweet, all those things that you want in a Rice Krispie treat. And slightly browning that butter at the beginning just honestly adds like a wonderful depth of flavor to the Rice Krispies. I would highly recommend not skipping that step. So that is it for today, guys. If you do decide to give this wonderful Rice Krispie treats recipe a go, then please do leave a review on my blog. It really helps my content out, and I absolutely love hearing from you guys. I'll see you in the next video.